So, what exactly is URL? If you look at the top of the browser, you will notice the URL, which usually begins with www and ends with .com. URLs are unique identifiers that are used to search for any resource on the internet. URL is synonymous with web address. It is just like street address, that identifies location of a particular asset on the internet. In theory, each URL points to a single resource, which could be an HTML page or CSS document or something else. What does URL stands for? The acronym URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. Every URL is made up of multiple parts, and how URLs are constructed will have a variety of effects on the security and SEO of your site. Let's dissect the URL structure. The scheme or protocol is what access the resource in internet. Some of the protocol examples are HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, etc. HTTPS is the most commonly used scheme as it encrypts the data that you enter in page. Subdomains are used to distinguish one section of a website from the main site. The most common subdomain is www, which stands for World Wide Web. Furthermore, the second-level domain is the name of your brand website. The top-level domain identifies the type of entity which your company is registered on the internet. A subdirectory, also known as a path, determines the section of a web page the user is on. The query parameter is a non-hierarchical data string. It's usually a series of attribute value pairs separated by a delimiter, like an ampersand. The query is separated from the part that comes before it by a question mark. A fragment is a named anchor, which is an internal page reference. It is usually found at the end of a URL and begins with a hash character followed by an identifier. Let's take a look at the URL structure as a whole. Now you know the most common parts of the URL.